Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, your host, Red Shake speaking. We're continuing today in part 2 of 1.35 Domination Castile into Spain gameplay. Let's play, walkthrough. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording while doing this episode, so now here we are with a voiceover. Let's see what we've got. Last episode, we fully annexed Granada and pieced out the Tunisians who are allied to the Grenadines. The Grenadines? Grenadian? I don't know how you say it. We pulled back our troops and our navy to Sevilla. As you see, we have permanent claims on Northern Morocco state. To fulfill our mission, we need to control or have a subject control all the provinces of Northern Morocco, Ceuta included, currently under the control of Portugal. You see Bourgogne here. The Bourgogne, aka Burgundy, has no heir. We are royal marriaged to Burgundy in hopes of getting the Burgundian inheritance. Here you see me doing some estate stuff, seizing the land, summoning the Diet. Right. Economy, balance of minus 2.5 ducats. We were already encouraging advancement of Renaissance in our capital of Toledo to make it easier for us to dev the institution in Toledo. We increase the the emporium to level 2 to get an increased reduction in development. You see, we have banked 70 papal authority, papal influence, and we got ourselves a nice bonus of 15% tax income because it's our main income tax. And to complete the next mission, we need some loyalty and crownland, loyalty of the nobility and crownland. Hence, we haven't gotten the +1 mana since day 1. The papal state wants 150 plus relations with us, with a papal influence of 50 to get the next mission done, Holy See politics. Currently we have 2 cardinals, one in Madrid, one in Sevilla. As you will see later, the new pope would enact the Cardinal Spread Institution Golden Bull, which will help us a lot in embracing the Renaissance. Right. We need all five provinces of Northern Morocco state to accomplish our mission. But as you see, one of them, Ceuta, namely Ceuta, is under the control of Portugal. Now our troops have arrived. Pausing the game. As you see, our alliance set Burgundy and the papal state. Status Pontificus. We have a combat width of 20. Early game. Yep, I've been enjoying playing Castile very much. It isn't the full potential or the full added flavor of Castile, because when we form Spain we get lots of extra bonuses and extra content for the nation. Look at La Mancha, it's not improved as much. Miltech 4 has been researched. A general has kicked the bucket. We send our fleet to protect trade with the admiral. Our light ships and our heavy ships will go and protect Sevilla node from Berber raids. Mercantilism, extra mercantilism is nice, giving our strategic position. New World into Sevilla, into Genoa. Right, the Granadan lands have been cored. Let's make them full cores and get ourselves the discounted trader, level 3 trader when we have the money. So let's check our autonomy, decrease the autonomy in the Granadan provinces. And Portugal has called us into a war for Northern Morocco, on which Portugal has permanent claim on for their respective mission. We assign the provinces of vital interest and prepare for the march on Northern Morocco. Right. Portugal has assigned North and Southern Morocco as provinces of vital interest. We assign a general and prepare for the march on Morocco. Our idea here was to fully siege all the provinces of Northern Moroccan state before Portugal beats us to it. Spoiler alert, Portugal beats us to Tetuan. From our mission continuing the Reconquista, from completing that mission we get a claim on the state of Gharb. Send our free company to Tangier and get our fleet ready to shore bombard the fort of Tangier. Right, and we build a spy network on the Moroccans for the increased siege ability. We send one of our merchants to collect in Sevilla, and the trade policy, we choose the respective trade policy of the improvement of trade routes, giving us inland routes, giving us a 10% siege ability. Right, as you see, Castilian siege ability 10%. We cannot move to Melilla because of the fort in Fez, and as I said, Portugal has beaten us into Tetuan. Already got the walls breached in Tangier. Cannot move my troops in Tetuan other than Tangier or Ceuta. Unfortunately, even our troops in Tangier cannot be moved to Saleh, for example, because of the zone of control of the fort of Fez. We move our fleet to the Gulf of Almeria to intercept the retreating Moroccan fleet of the ports of Melilla when we siege down Melilla. Fez will fall soon. Just as I mentioned it, Fez falls. We move our troops and beat the Portuguese to the provinces of Morocco. As you see, Morocco is simultaneously at war with Tlemcen, and a government reform is ready. A tier 2 government reform. I usually go for the noble officer corps, for the yearly army tradition. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Continue carpet sieging the Moroccans. Marrakesh has a level 3 fort because it's the capital of Marrakesh, so it needs at least 9 regiments. We're about to lose our great power status because of our low development in comparison to the other great powers, as well as we haven't embraced Renaissance yet. The Portuguese are also carpet sieging southern Morocco in the Sahara. You might think that the Portuguese would take Tetuan for themselves and give us Melilla, Tangier and Salé. You might be wrong if you thought so. Because the Portuguese peace deal has shocked me literally. Ideally, the Moroccans unsiege Tetuan and I siege it for myself, for a bigger chance that Portugal cedes those provinces to me in the peace deal. But spoiler alert, nope. People influence, nice and smooth. On our way to get 50 influence, to get an extra cardinal and relations with the Pope. Granada and separatists are about to rise up because we decreased autonomy. We can research the next tech. Not ahead of time, no penalties for not embracing the Renaissance. And as you see, Renaissance is getting a faster spread due to the Golden Bull. We hire another general and get ready to maneuver our way around the Granadan rebels, not to suffer from river crossing penalty of -1 to dice rolls. Simultaneously continuing sieging down Morocco. And as you see in Melilla and Tetuan, the Moroccans are unsieging Melilla, Fez and hopefully Tetuan. You see some French troops sieging down Evora. It's because Portugal has joined England in a defensive war against France. Granadan rebels have been defeated. We move our troops from Granada because Granada gonna get unsieged automatically because of the fort in Malaga. And we got ourselves Isabella of Castile event, paving the way for a potential Iberian Wedding event with Aragon. You can pause it to read a little bit if you want. I've read it when I was recording. Now I'm doing the voiceover. So we got her as our heir. Unfortunately, this does not stop us from getting the Castilian Civil War disaster. Also, we cannot disinherit our king because our heiress must be at least of 15 years old. Currently, she's only 5. Aragon has a regent, a female, on the throne. We split down our troops because they're attritioning, and Morocco and its vassals are sieging down or unsieging the capital of Fez in hopes that they unsiege Tetuan as well. Right, one more transport captured. Transports are easier to capture in naval battle, apparently. We move the transport to Sevilla, group our transport in one big transport fleet. As you see here, the Portuguese got defeated in Fez. And Portugal, although we got 55% of the war score as Castile, Portugal got itself Melilla, Tetuan, Ceuta. And nothing for me. Maybe money, and that's it. Now our merchant fleet goes to protect trade. Our heavies go to hunt down pirates in Sevilla. And our troops can return home. Thanks Portugal for nothing. And we have a looming Castilian Civil War disaster. Why? Because tab less than 1, legitimacy less than 90. We let the, for roleplay purposes, we let the disaster fire in hopes of getting boosted relations with Portugal or Aragon. As you see, we cannot disinherit our king until our heir is of 15 years old. The disaster is ticking fast. We decrease the spending on our military. Choose the cardinal minister here and expect the Renaissance to appear in our capital in 1-2 years approximately. The Pope likes our guts with plus 200 relations. We improve the relations with Aragon in anticipation of the Iberian Wedding event, although they are our rival at the moment. Here I almost died, I almost fainted, thinking that our heiress is dead, but no, it's just our queen consort. Right, Renaissance has appeared in Toledo. Thanks to our cardinal, we do some advancement effort edicts in all the adjacent provinces and states. Sevilla has also a cardinal, which means the Renaissance is about to appear in the province as well. So we assign all the adjacent states into advancement effort. Holy See politics can be completed. We complete the mission. We gain one admin development in every province which has a cardinal. Almeria excluded because apparently the mission adds one admin dev and then puts the cardinal in Almeria. Hence the increase in Toledo and Sevilla only, but not Almeria. Right, we complete the mission. Check out our tax development, which has been increased in Toledo, Sevilla, but not Almeria, for the reason I just mentioned. Portugal is still warring France. See, the Renaissance can be embraced. We get ourselves indebted to the burghers. Actually no, because we got it already. That's why we sell some titles and seize land and summon the Diet. And go for the Church in Sevilla mission, or agenda rather. Alright, we didn't go for the +1 of each mana from the start of the game because we wanted to complete a couple of missions, as you may recall from episode 1 of this Let's Play. See, here we need a total crown land ownership of a minimum of 40%. Burghers request privileges. Nope, because we don't want to lose 2% crown land. We sit at the actual term at 39 and we need 40 for the mission. All our edicts can be cancelled because the Renaissance has been embraced. Let's see who might ally us. Austria. But we got all of our diplomatic relations slot filled with alliances. We got some golden inflation. And we pay our loans. Now we're netting a positive of 5+ ducats. And we invest the money we got in building churches to increase our tax income. We got an event, Death of a Merchant. We get ourselves here the discounted advisor. Expensive but discounted. He'd help us reach the first idea group tech. Relations with Austria improved. And now we're losing money. F for Portugal in the comments below. F for Portugal. Right, and the French made the Portuguese annul their alliance with me, which made the Tlemcen, the Tlemceni, eye their provinces, their cores on the Portuguese. And Portugal took Mersel, Kebir and Ouja from Morocco actually, not from Tlemcen. Because at the same time me and Portugal were warring Morocco, Morocco was in a separate war with Tlemcen, from which they conquered 2 provinces, Actually 3, plus Oran. Right, as a first idea group, a no-brainer for any Castile is a exploration idea. Historical Castile, at least. Sadly though, as you see here, Burgundy has chosen Austria as a junior partner instead of us. Although we got pretty decent relations with them. Scotland called us against England in an offensive war. Go Scotland! Inflict some disability and distability on the English. And just like that, Castilian Civil War. We support Isabella, of course, because it's Isabella of Castile. And second of all, to increase our chances of an Iberian wedding with Aragon. Unfortunately, Aragon minus Naples, because Naples was set free. Here I stop to read the event. To get rid of the Castilian Civil War, we need a positive stability of 1, +1 stability, and no pretender armies lurking our countryside, and no provinces being besieged by pretender rebels. We see some Portuguese fighting the rebels that spawned from the event. We assign a general to the army to help the Portuguese fighting the rebels. Attached to the Free Company. And attack, join the battle. The rebels would rise in Cadiz, Burgos, and in Soria, next to Burgos. Get ourselves one more general, because the rebels will rise up in 3 different provinces, plus the ones in Malaga. Unfortunately, we cannot bombard Malaga because the attacker is Portugal, not me. Unfortunately. Just carefully insult the French for a little bit of +10 power projection. Because above 50 nets us +1 of each mana each month. And the pretenders have risen up. More mercantilism, thank you very much, in our strategic position in Sevilla trade node. Aragonese involvement, some more pretenders to fight. As you can see, stability at least 1, few rebel control provinces not 1, spawned rebels not pretender rebels. We will soon finito our disaster and be victorious. Avoiding the river crossing here, while attacking the pretenders. We just need to siege down Burgos, and that's it. And defeat the rebels, of course, and that's it. Detach the cavalry here because they are more expensive to reinforce. Joint forces of France and the Scottish sieging down the English. You can white piece the English if you want to, but we decided to stay a little bit longer in the war until the Scots piece out the English themselves. Spoiler alert, they'll get a lot of land. And we got a Trastamara on the Scottish throne. You'll love when you see it. We choose the admin power assistance to get ourselves +1 stability ASAP, which you got right now. Now stays just sieging down or retaking control of Burgos remains open until the Castilian Civil War is concluded. Then exploration idea. Either we go for the explorer first or for the tech. It depends on Portugal. Also, Tenerife starts as a already colonized province in 1.35, I think, because I recall it as an uncolonized province. Usually Portugal beats Castile into Tenerife. And we got the Iberian Wedding. Although Isabella is still our heir, or heiress rather, we have a male King Juan II de Trastamara and a queen on the Aragonese throne. Hence the chance of the Iberian Wedding firing. Naturally, we let us bind their dynasty to ours. I stopped here a little bit to read the description, as if it's the first time I see this event. Right, binding the dynasty to ours. And we get some noble rebels who oppose this unification. I bet it's the local noble rising up because he wanted to win Isabella's heart. We get a PUCB on Naples, which we're gonna use later when we finish our internal problems, internal struggle. We maneuver our forces to Badajoz and La Mancha, not to suffer from crossing penalty when fighting the rebels. And Aragon starts as disloyal because of relative power, was previously a rival, and other factors. I don't remember Aragon starting as disloyal after the Iberian Wedding. In contrary, I believe there used to be a historical friend modifier and a flat loyalty or liberty desire decrease, because 100% France could easily support their independence if they wanted to, or any of our rivals for that matter, like the English. So in the last couple of minutes we try to contain the liberty desire of Aragon, because as long as they are disloyal, have 50 plus liberty desire, they won't help us in any of our wars. They would just defend their own territory. Next mill tech, yes please. We go for the longbow here. And Naples is under attack by the Ottomans in the Ottoman conquest of Salento. The Ottomans are towards Savoy, Lucca and Naples. And here's the thing, if we wanted to enforce a PU on Naples, we'd be dragged on into a war against the Ottomans, a very early war. Lots of ambition but lots of risk, because it's the Ottomans' early game. Although they've lost some pips, they're still a formidable foe and a great power. So we built a spy network on the Ottomans in preparation for our war against them. We're ready our troops to be shipped into Naples. Actually, first of all, into Sicily, land controlled by the Aragonese crown. First army arrived in Messina. Now we can take off the edicts that we don't need anymore. Right, Portugal as expected went for exploration as first ADA group, as expected. Here we continue to ship our troops to Messina in preparation for our enforcement of PU against Naples. Right, we unlock the mission and get the CB. We declare and call the Papal States in. We march here as you see with our troops, assign the generals, split the armies, and manage our approachment to the capital of Naples, which is Napoli. The Papal State already went for the capital, which is good for us. As you see here, Ottoman forces have already occupied Salento, getting a ticking war score bonus. Lucania has been occupied as well by the Ottomans. Here we are engaging with our heavies and lights, the combined Lucan and Neapolitan fleet, destroying them in the process. split the transport because we don't need it in combat. I was hoping to barrage Naples, but unfortunately the Pope is the leader of the siege, not us. Carpet sieging Naples with the Ottomans, with the help of the Ottomans, the indirect help of the Ottomans. We go for Lucca to piece them out and avoid losing stability here. In 1464, November 1464, we shift our focus from admin to diplo. Here, as you see, in Liège, faceting has been spawned instead of the pretty usual spawn in Constantinople. Cannot assign a third rival though, like the Ottomans, because we were still in a war against England. The Scots not sieging the war goal because reasons. Don't ask me why. And the liberty desire of Aragon is 90%. Right, Napoli has fallen. Although it has fallen to the Papal State, we can still demand a PU in a peace treaty. Almost there, we just need to piece out Lucca and Savoy. The Ottomans sitting there, checking us out, and we are checking them out. We know what will happen, but they don't. They don't see this coming. Lucca has fallen, can be pieced out. Next, Diplotech researched. 1464, as I said, we'll shift our focus to Diplo. We demand transfer of trade power and reparations, war reparations, and the most prestige we can get from Lucca. When it comes to Savoy, soon they will piece us out. Right, here they're ready to white peace, no more nor less. And then at 97%, we forcefully PU the Neapolitans and join the defensive war against the Ottomans, who are marching into southern Italy, as you see on the screen. So we move our whole army, all of our troops to southern Italy and prepare for our first battle with the Ottomans. We move all of the Neapolitan corps on Sicilia to make them in order to make them hate us less and get the most what we can get in terms of ducats. As you see here, a battle against the Ottomans. Spoiler alert, they will massacre the crap out of us. We don't call Scotland to this defensive war, rather let them fight the English peacefully. Fight peacefully, yeah, I know. I will complete the mission by get ourselves some galley combat bonus, from which we have 0 ships, 0 galleys, only heavies. and prominent claims on Spanish Netherlands, aka Belgium, on Tuscany, and on Milan. Fighting the Ottomans, -1 to dice rolls because of terrain. They control that province, that's why they were the defender. I believe it's Lucania. So the Ottomans have a renewal after 20 years of the Crusade of Honor, a renewal of another crusade against half of Italy, most of Iberia, and the Pope. As you see here, we're getting smashed and massacred. Those Janissaries, man, are OP. We have our OP units, and namely the Tercios, which we're gonna recruit in a couple episodes of this Let's Play. Stay tuned if you want to know more. And we stack wipe the Ottomans. Here we can white piece them when we recover Salento. Just like that, Salento recovered, everything siege back to our beloved PU junior member of Napoli. You see in Roussillon, Ottoman troops marching. Eventually they will go and sit on the fort of Burgos. While they do that, we send our fleet to the agency, getting us some war score from blockade, from naval blockade. And here we can just white piece the Ottomans if you wanted to, which we will do to end the war as quickly as possible. Ottoman conquest of Salento. A white piece against the Ottomans is actually a win for us, you know. A white piece as the Ottomans is a defeat for the Ottomans. Right, we improve our relations with Naples because negative opinion by the ascension of our heir. The union might be lost if the opinion is negative. As you see up there, the Scots are smashing the English. They even have control of London somehow. I missed that part. Nevertheless, we are getting call for peace because Cumbria is under the control. Cumbria, the war goal, is under the control of Scotland. 20 years have passed since the start of the game, and we can get ourselves the a renewal of the estate's decisions, like calling the diets, granting monopolies, charters and stuff, privileges, whatnot for 15 loyalty. And because we have 40% plus Crownland, we can complete the mission. Afterwards, in a couple more minutes, we give +1 of each mana to every estate. For law and order, we need to dev Valladolid and Granada a little bit, or have a courthouse, or have expanded infrastructure at least once. But because both provinces are less than 15 development, we cannot expand infrastructure. So what we do is we dev the provinces 3 times instead. So encourage development. Go for development with admin because it's the most what we have of mana points. Dev 3 times, and we go for Granada. We dev it 3 times as well. We cannot do it a 3rd time in admin, so we do it in mill instead. Just like that, law and order is completed. And we get two permanent modifiers. In Granada and Valladolid, monthly reform progress a flat 0.10 and state governing cost minus 5%. Aragon is still disloyal, although we are supporting loyalists. Later, unfortunately, France would support their independence. We try here to increase our army size. We recruit some marines using our sailors, manpower pool, instead of the usual manpower pool. And Scotland just won't piece out the English. They're really ambitious. For the agenda of the Diet, we get an automatic completion of either of those agendas because we have our decisions completed. Therefore, we go with the clergy. As you see here, Tlemcen got the provinces back from Portugal, which makes it a prime target for conquest for us. We could also expand in Italy, but this has been for part 2 of the series. This has been Red Shake. Peace!